So I had this idea. We live in Texas. We are the land of extremes. We have extreme heat, we have extreme cold, and not so much in between. Um, Being one that likes to work out, the idea was to take and play with his kids to take the two and mesh them. So what I came up with was this idea of the indoor park or PlayStation, if you will. So it's kind of a both fitness and ability to play all at the same times. And it's not just for the kids, and it's not just for the healthy adults, but it's for anyone who wants to come out and exercise or let their kids exercise. So we started with this idea. Well, we also want to make sure that we don't send them to like what you have at a gym. So you go to a gym, if your gym has child care that will watch them, either you're paying extra for it or you send them to this or you're not, and then you send them to this dark room, and yes, they'll have fun because they're kids, they have fun anywhere, but it's dingy, it's dark, it's stinky, there's no really natural light, so you don't really get fun out of it as a parent. It's not somewhere you want to send your kids often, and then they will probably get tired of it real quick because it's not very big. So here the idea was to encompass not just for the littler kids because you have to watch them, but even some of the a little bit older kids that you don't necessarily have to watch, and they can all have fun and find something that they enjoy. So the idea was to make this big indoor structure with lots of natural light so that you get the effect of being outside but not being outside. And so here's where we started. So I built this idea around the fact that we wanted to have an indoor playground. So we've got multiple playgrounds just like your good parks would have. And we've got this walking track and playing track, on the car track, if you will. So we've got where you can have strollers, you can have tricycles, you can have little kids' bicycles. So maybe you're trying to teach your kid how to ride a bicycle and you want somewhere safer so they're not running off into the street, or you're at the park where there's really not a whole lot of concrete to drive around also, or they're going off the side of the sidewalk into the grass, which would be okay when they crash, which is inevitable. But keep it on task here, but they have different ideas. So you can be walking around this track, watching your kid or teaching your kid how to ride a bike, or you could be walking around this track, you being a mom or a grandma or a grandpa or a dad, or even people could come in here and just watch the kids play. Maybe they're just wanting to come and enjoy an indoor place to kind of get some exercise. And so you could have business people coming in and walking around talking business. You could have the soccer moms or the stay-at-home parents are walking around, they're talking about their kids, because what else are they going to talk about? And then we focus on the kids for a minute. So over here we've got this big playground. It's not your typical, okay, this is fun for a little bit, and then they get really tired of it really quick because there's not a whole lot of challenge to it, but yes, safe. Maybe they have this big tower, so, and at the top of this tower, they can be in this castle, and so that can be their castle while they're playing. And then at the top of the tower, maybe you have this big slide, and this slide encompasses really fast, and it's just a long slide, not your little rinky-dink slide. Maybe it goes over part of the little track we talked about, and so now you have kind of a bridge effect going. Maybe it's a clear slide so you can see everybody as you're going down, which would be kind of fun. Or you watch your friend coming down and you're like, oh, you're funny, right? But the big kids can have fun. Then you've got the smaller park where your beginner walkers and crawlers could be, and so maybe they're in an area where it's safe, but they have stuff to crawl on, they have stuff to climb and try to experience life with. And then you've got the middle kids that are walking, but they're not big enough to go do the big boy stuff, but they have something that's still a little bit challenging where they don't outgrow it just in a flash and they don't really get bored with it. And then maybe there's an area over here where there's like in-ground trampoline. So you've built this area, you've built a pit so that you can put the trampoline in, and it's safe, it's ground level, so yes, they're bouncing, but there's pads around and they're less likely to get hurt that way. And then in the middle, you'd have like drinking fountains for the kids that just want to get a drink and go back to playing. And then maybe even you have a little gazebo area where you have snack spot for the kids. So the kids have been there for a little bit. They want to come get drinks and snacks, and there's a place to do that, and it doesn't get trashy everywhere else. Now, that's the kids side. So now for the fun side, because me being an adult, I want to be able to do adult things too, and still have fun with my kids. So here now the kids are taken care of. The parents, they're outside. You could have some what I'll call stations where you're doing this walk around the park while you're watching your kid, and maybe you come to a station. This station has several different places to do maybe an arm station, so you work your arms, and then you walk a little bit more and you come to the next station, you work chest and back, and maybe you go to the next session, you have legs and then abs, and so you can just walk around and get your weight training in, as well as your, and these would be cable machines, so the kids wouldn't go in and get hurt and drop weights on themselves and stuff like that. So you could go in and have fitness and have fun watching your kids. Then maybe there's some places for, like, say, maybe even yoga, where you can go stretch a little bit, because we know that's the most important. And then here's the big one that I liked adding to this is, since we've got this big tower, right, you're going to have multiple stories. So you can maybe now have a second layer where you have an indoor track. So for those people that really want to train, right, and wintertime comes or summertime comes and it's so hot in the afternoon or in the evening time, they can't really get out there because it's so hot, there's a track that they can run around, and it's on the second level. You can see it's got several lanes maybe, and then so what I envision is the parents, all right, could walk around the track or run around the track, but yet still see their kids as they're running around the track. And then the people that are really wanting to go out and get some running in, like would normally go to a track, they could run on the outside of the track. And since it's an indoor track, it's not a full track. It would be maybe a half track or something like that. So they're still able to get running in that way and be, again, in a safe environment. They're indoors and everything's kind of contained, and they could do it all year round. There's no time where they couldn't go. And so that kind of encompasses the ideas, this indoor PlayStation park for everyone to come and enjoy.